In this video, I'm going to show you how to make extra money in your 50s. And specifically at the end of the video, I'm going to give you a gift. If you do everything that gift tells you, you will make a minimum of $2,000 to $5,000 extra dollars per month. I'm going to share 3 strategies for making extra income. Number 1, leverage your skills and change the way your money comes into your life. Number 2, how you can jump into this amazing real estate market, Airbnb. I have a client Airbnb in boats right now making $10,000, $15,000 a month. And then number 3, which is critical in your 50s, do you have life insurance or is it death insurance? Stay tuned. So the number 1 strategy, and I love it because all of you could do this like really in your sleep. I mean, your 50s. I'm in my 50s. This is not difficult. Makes more money. And as you make it, you got to put it away. But let's talk about that. If you have a job, that's fine. Keep your job. But you need an extra business on the side. Number 1 for the tax strategies. But number 2, it's time to ramp up those bank accounts. I don't want to call them savings accounts. Let's call them investing accounts. Because later in life, when you're in your 60s and 70s, 80s, you do not want to be those people with the little orange, suits directing aisles at, the stores. We won't name them. You don't want to be those people. You don't want to be working then, right? And maybe you're going to be working, but you're going to be doing it your way. Traveling around the world is the way I'll be doing it. So how do you make money? Leverage your skills. At the end of the video, I have 1,000 cash machine ideas that I'm going to give you. It is an awesome just list of all these things that you could do. At this age, your time, you've had many chapters in your life where you've made money. So what was the funnest chapter? So what I always ask people in their 50s, what was the funnest thing you did? What's the thing that was most fulfilling? And start that as a business. Maybe you're a great gardener. Maybe you love to cook. Maybe you actually were a teacher, and do we need tutors in the world right now? So whatever your thing was that you love to do, let's put a business around it. Make your hobby a business. Not only that's tax deductible, but you can make extra money, right? With all the social media right now, and all the social channels and all the platforms and all the groups and all the Facebook lives and all the LinkedIn lives, all the clubhouses, all of that, you can be out getting names, phone numbers, and emails, which are your potential clients, really easily. So let's leverage your skills, number 1. Then let's dig in a little bit deeper. If you do have a job, for those of you really serious about doing this, consider going to your employer and change your employment to a contract. So yes, you're going to quit, right? Now, some of you that have, big pensions and big benefits that come later in life, and you're at year 18 and you get them at 20, don't do something ridiculous and quit now. So obviously look at all the factors, but there's a lot of you, there's no big benefit later. The big benefit to changing from employee money to contractor money, right? So you have your own company and your company's going to work for that employer. You can just spin it, change it. That kind of income now is deductible income. So you can make money. You can do the deductions of driving to work. You can do meals. You can do your home office. There's just all these things you get to do differently. And we'll help you do a contract, right? Put some comments in. Say, hey, this is a great idea. I want some more help. We'll call you. We'll brainstorm. Super fun. I love doing this. And then as a consultant, if you really want to rack up your revenue and really move, have some VIP weekends. I have some folks right now that are doing wellness weekends, right? So instead of doing $2,000, $4,000 per client or even $2,500 a client, have a VIP weekend, right? Everything's are opening up. I have people right now bringing people in for a 2 or 3 day weekend. They're Airbnb house and they're just having a fun wellness weekend, bringing tons of sponsors in. Those weekends, I know for the one client, she'll make $50,000 to $70,000, depending on how the sponsor money comes in, and as long as she controls her cost on that event. So lots of ways to surge big amounts of cash into your business checking account. And then we'll talk about how to get that money invested. Right now, this whole video is how do you make a lot and really surge it up. Many of you, like $2,000 to $5,000 a month. I mean, think about that. Let's just say 2, that's $24,000 a year. At 5, you're at $60,000 a year. Can you imagine doing that for 3 to 5 years? If you have a job, whatever you're doing, and putting most of that money away for later in your life. Compounding power of money, folks, there's no reason you do not have money on an ongoing basis. So strategy number 2, which is obvious and it's all around you, is real estate. So there's a couple ways you can enter. I love entering with construction loans. Call it hard money loans. Be the bank for other people that know what they're doing. So if you've never been in real estate, being on the debt side, not the equity side, is really critical. So let's talk about that for a moment. If you're on the debt side, you're the bank. When you say, well, I don't know how to do this. Again, comments. We're available to help you. So what you're going to do is say somebody in your, you got to start talking. Neighborhood, maybe somebody at work. Heck, you can put it out on most social posts that you are looking for somebody to partner with on a real estate transaction. So if you're the one with money, now I'll get to those of you that don't have money, but those of you that have money, now you could go into a deal. Like I have a brand new client and he and his wife just bought a house well into six figures. They're going to put another 100 into rehab. And then at the end of all that, and I said, well, have you even done that before? Have you bought a fix and flip? Have you put 100,000 into one property and hoped it's all going to work out? He said, well, the math makes sense. I said, I know, but you have a lot of things called talent, skills, you got material costs. Do you know how to do any of that? So what I'm saying is have somebody who knows what they're doing run that part of the real estate. And if you don't know, yeah, you can come and learn and understand it more. But if you really have the money, be the bank, right? I mean, you can make anywhere between 10, 15, 17% on your money. You can actually secure the title because you'll be in first position on the property. I mean, I decided to have so many of my clients that don't understand real estate be the bank on the first side. Now, let's go into a few more fun asset classes. I have a brand new client on the East Coast, super fun. He and his girlfriend started buying some boats and they're doing Airbnb on boats, very similar, and they are crushing it. So they're buying a boat, they fix it up, and they're just starting to Airbnb. I don't know, I think they have 2, 3, 4 boats by now. I have another client who's going to attempt it. They actually have several RVs, and given that a lot of people are moving out of a lot of states that have crazy stuff going on, people have chose RVing as a lifestyle. I have some folks that are actually going to be Airbnb and renting those out. So whenever you can own the asset, be the bank, great strategy. So put in some comments if you have some ideas about that. Now let's go to the other side and say, well, I was one of those people who made it and spend it, made it, spend it, made it, spend it, and you have no money. Well, then I still would go out and I'd partner. But especially those of you who don't know what you're doing, it's better to get on a construction team, get on a team of people than go in by yourself. The client I spoke about earlier, if that doesn't work, right? Let's just say we have a plumbing issue. They have some electrical issues. I don't know. They find asbestos, so they take, they redo part of the property. They're going to be into that for more than they expected. They didn't know really how to do the cost analysis of it, and they don't know how to do the work, which means they're going to be subbing out at retail rates to their contractors. They're going to be paying material costs that they don't need to pay. I'm a huge fan of partnering. Partner. So those of you that are on the other side and you don't have a lot of money to be the bank and you want it to, you need to create money, you can rent out your house, your room if your kids are gone. I've had a lot of people in their 50s. They have a 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom. They don't want to downsize it. It doesn't make sense to sell for them right now. That you can Airbnb room by room by room. I have another client actually in the Ohio market, and what she's doing is she's renting it out because she's really close to university. She's renting out to college students. So she's having some fun energy in her house. She's treating it, I'm going to say, a little like a bed and breakfast, because she does have morning food for them, and then at night they all gather around. So it just creates like a new family for her. So kind of cool. And she's making a lot of money. Those rooms are being rented, by the way, anywhere between $250 to $600 per room. We're not talking about like the whole house. So it creates extra and great cash flow. So lots of ways to do this. And again, if you want to invest in real estate, I'm going back to the partners. I call them field partners. Find somebody in your market. Just drive around, look at construction, not the big companies. I'm talking about the mom and pop shops where they actually do know how to rehab. They know how to, work on the house. And if you want to learn, get on a team versus learn it by yourself. Plus, you don't have the money to get in the first place. So before I give you number 3, I really want you to subscribe. If this content and my conversation is resonating with you and you want to know more, subscribe to this channel, tell your friends to subscribe, and we're going to be creative. We're going to make up a lot of stuff. I'm going to take your comments seriously, and we're going to work on things. Now, the number 3 strategy is your life insurance, especially those of you who have kids, right? It's a way that if you didn't put enough money away, you can give them a super gift when you walk off the planet. And a lot of people don't do that. So death insurance is what we call term insurance. And that's the stuff you're seeing on every TV ad. For $5, you get this. For $10 a month, you get this. So that's okay. But here's the truth. You're only in your 50s. You're probably going to outlive those 20-year policies. And that's the biggest mistake I see people in their 50s and 60s do, is you're going to spend all this money, even if it's $5, $20, $100 a month. That's still money being spent for what? a term policy that you're probably going to outlive. So the kind of insurance I'm talking about, we call life insurance, right? It can provide some cash value. You can take loans against it, and it doesn't term out, right? It's actually paid out upon your death. That insurance is best kept inside of a trust. And inside of the trust, that's where your directives are. I mean, do you want that to go to charity? Do you want that money to go to your kids? But that's a way to start generational wealth. I talk a lot about generational wealth. And again, if you're watching my channel, I'll have a lot of videos about how to do that. Right now, I just want you in your 50s to start putting proper insurance away. And if you did do proper insurance earlier and you're in your 50s and you don't have cash, guess what? Let's look at the analysis of maybe taking some of that money, do a loan against that insurance now. And that gets back to our second point. You could get into real estate with it, or you could get into a business with it. So lots of money should be around in options for you in your 50s because you've been around a while and you've made some money. Now, if you made it to spend it, again, we'll have to have a little therapy session about that. But right now, I really want you to go to the link below. And I have 1,000 cash machine ideas. I also am going to put up a link for a profile that if you want to tell us a little bit about you, we'll have somebody call you, give you a one-on-one conversation, because a lot of these things, they're private. It's about you. You all did something different to your life. You're not at the same space. You're not at the same place in your life. So I always say we're going to meet you where you are and take you where you want to go. So click on the link below.